Before we dive in, to encourage us to bring more such content, please subscribe to the Paisa Files channel. Okay, so we all get them, right? Those random texts from unknown numbers, a sudden alert from your bank, maybe a quick ping from what looks exactly like your boss. Most of the time, we just swipe them away. But what happens when that text is perfectly engineered to trick you? Today, we're breaking down a massive, highly coordinated digital robbery that literally started right in the palm of a victim's hand.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the $8 million crypto heist itself. Then, the anatomy of the phishing scam they used, the international hacker ring behind it all, and finally, the staggering $21 billion national threat this represents.
All right, Section 1, the $8 million crypto heist. Let's just take a second to wrap our heads around this number. $8 million. This absolute massive crime was orchestrated by Tyler Robert Buchanan, a 24-year-old from Dundee, Scotland. He actually recently pleaded guilty in a California federal court to a scheme that successfully stole this incredible amount in virtual currency from everyday victims all across America. Specifically, he pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. This wasn't some bank robbery with getaway cars and ski masks. This was an invisible theft, just quietly and efficiently siphoning digital wealth right through the internet.
And get this, 45. Buchanan and his crew didn't just get lucky once. According to court documents, they methodically targeted at least 45 different companies. And it wasn't even limited to the US. They hit organizations across the United States, Canada, India, and the UK. So we're talking about a truly global netcast to catch as much confidential data as possible.
If you look at the timeline of this operation, it tells the story of sustained, completely unchecked theft. The fraud ran from September 2021 all the way until the spring of 2023. Think about that. That's over a year and a half of actively draining accounts before authorities could finally shut the network down. Well, Buchanan's run is over now. He's facing a maximum penalty of 22 years in federal prison at his upcoming August 2026 sentencing hearing.
Moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of a Phishing Scam.
So how exactly does someone sitting in Scotland rob dozens of companies across the globe? Well, the process was frighteningly simple. Step 1, victims received a text message that appeared perfectly legitimate. It looked like it was from their own company or maybe a contracted supplier. Step 2, the victim totally believes the text is real, so they click a link that sends them to a fraudulent website, one designed to look exactly like the real thing. Then, Step 3, the very second the victim enters their login credentials, the hackers steal that confidential data, access the victim's virtual wallets, and just drain the currency. Poof, gone.
But here's the thing, the technical hack is actually secondary to the human hack. The text messages they sent often looked exactly like this. Your account is about to be deactivated. The criminals were creating a false sense of panic. By claiming the employee's account was in immediate jeopardy, they literally forced the victim to act fast, overriding their critical thinking and natural skepticism. Because, let's face it, panic leads to clicks, and clicks lead to compromised data.
Which brings us to Section 3, the International Hacker Ring.
Pulling off a scam of this magnitude across multiple continents is rarely a solo job, and Buchanan was definitely not operating as a lone wolf here. The U.S. Department of Justice identified a whole network of alleged co-conspirators. He worked alongside Ahmed Hussam Eldin El-Badawi, who goes by AD from College Station, Texas. There was also Evans Onyeka Asabor from Dallas, Texas, and Joel Martin Evans, known online as Joe Leo, from Jacksonville, North Carolina. Now, while Buchanan has pleaded guilty, it is super important to note that these three individuals still face criminal charges for their alleged roles in this extensive conspiracy. It was a highly coordinated, multi-state, and international web.
And finally, Section 4, a $21 billion national threat.
While Buchanan's conviction is for sure a win for federal prosecutors, this one single case is literally just a drop in a very, very deep bucket. Take a second to really absorb this number. According to a recently released FBI report, cyber-enabled crimes defrauded Americans of an unimaginable $21 billion in 2025 alone. $21 billion. Guys, that is the GDP of a small country, entirely siphoned out of the pockets of American citizens and businesses through keyboards and smartphones. Buchanan's $8 million, it's just a tiny fraction of a % of this devastating total. And the reason that number is skyrocketing right now is because criminals are constantly evolving. Scammers are increasingly leveraging everyday tools, social media platforms, direct messaging apps, and honestly, most alarmingly, artificial intelligence. They're using AI to write much more convincing phishing messages, automate their attacks, and execute these frauds at a massive, terrifying scale. You know, the days of poorly spelled scam emails from some fake prince? Yeah, those are gone. Today's attacks are highly sophisticated and deeply personalized.
But perhaps the most heartbreaking part of the FBI's data is who exactly is getting hit the hardest. Americans over the age of 60 are the most vulnerable demographic. They reported a staggering $7.7 billion in losses last year alone. That represents a massive 37% increase in losses for seniors from 2024 to 2025. It's just absolutely predatory, targeting people's retirement savings and their entire life's work.
Knowing that one single text from a supposed boss or supplier can lead to multi-million-dollar ruin, it leaves us with an urgent question. Ask yourself honestly, are you absolutely sure you could spot a fake text on your own phone? The next time it buzzes with an urgent alert, are you going to pause, or will you panic and click? Thanks for walking through this explainer with me. Stay vigilant and always, always verify before you click.